judge the San Francisco 49ers of 2024 by just the surface. There's been a lot of noise painting a pretty bleak picture about their offense last year, but when you dig deeper, there's a lot of promising signs that have been overlooked. What we thought was a season filled with struggles and missed opportunities might not tell the full story. Today, I want to share with you some positive insights and surprising stats that might completely change the way you view the 49ers offense and overall performance. The narrative that they were absolutely terrible just doesn't hold up when you look at the details. Let's start with a question. How would you rate the 49ers offense last season on a scale from 1 to 10? My guess is most people would put them somewhere near the bottom of the league. After all, they had noticeable problems, especially in the red zone, and their turnover differential was dreadful. 27th in the entire NFL. That's not something to ignore, but there's an interesting stat that challenges that assumption. When looking at the percentage of drives ending in either a punt or a turnover, the 49ers actually rank 8th in the league. That's right, 8th. This stat caught my attention because it directly contradicts the narrative that the offense was constantly self-destructing or handing the ball away too often. So how can the 49ers be 27th in turnover, differential yet 8th in drives ending in punts or turnovers? It sounds like a contradiction, but there's a simple explanation that makes a lot of sense. The first factor is strength of schedule. By the end of the season, it became clear that their schedule was actually much tougher than initially expected. Teams that were thought to be weaker improved significantly, pushing the 49ers into having arguably the toughest schedule in the NFL last year. Playing against stronger competition means you face more defensive pressure and smarter opponents who take advantage of every mistake. That explains why their turnover differential was so poor. They were up against elite defenses that capitalized on any slip-up. On the other hand, this tough schedule also helps explain why the offense's percentage of drives ending in punts or turnovers was not as bad as many thought. Even though they struggled with turnovers overall, they managed to hold on to the ball better than most. Teams. It's a subtle but important difference. The 49ers weren't constantly giving the ball away or punting after every possession. Instead, they maintained control more often than their record might suggest. This paints a more nuanced picture of their offensive performance, highlighting their ability to manage drives and avoid mistakes at a higher rate than expected. The second key reason why their offense isn't as bad as the critics say comes down to how we assign blame. There's been a lot of talk about how the offense struggled when key players were injured, like Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. People say the unit couldn't adjust or figure things out without them, branding the offense as weak or incapable. While it's true the offense wasn't perfect, I'm the first to admit that. The reality is that the offense held up better than most gave it credit for. They weren't the main problem. They actually did their job more often than the stats show at first glance. Taking care of the football is one of the most important jobs an offense has. And by the metric of drives ending in punt or turnover, the 49ers were one of the better teams in the league. That means they avoided mistakes enough to keep drives alive, gave themselves opportunities to score, and didn't frequently surrender possession to the opponent. Of course, this doesn't include field goals or missed kicks, and it's not a perfect stat, but it's a strong indicator that the offense was steadier and more reliable than people believed. And there's good reason to believe this offense will improve. Last season, the 49ers lacked key help from their defense and special teams, which led to tougher situations and more pressure on the offense to carry the team. When those units improve, and they have the potential to do so, the offense won't be put in such difficult spots. This means better field position, fewer high-pressure situations, and more chances to execute their game plan effectively. One player who's getting attention and could make a difference is a rookie offensive lineman named Connor Colby. Drafted in the 7th round, he's already being praised for his explosiveness, intelligence in running the outside zone scheme, and importantly, his durability. Consistency is crucial in the offensive line, and last season the 49ers were plagued by injuries up front, which forced backups into action sooner than anyone wanted. Colby's ability to stay healthy and step in effectively could help stabilize the offensive line and give the offense more confidence and better protection moving forward. There's some concern about his pass protection skills, which is understandable given that he's coming into a system that demands solid pass blocking against some of the league's best defenders. However, his athleticism and versatility, having played both guard and tackle in college, give him a foundation to build on. The 49ers clearly value athleticism in their linemen, and Colby's high relative athletic score puts him among the best offensive guards drafted in the past several decades. That's a promising sign for a player picked so late. Beyond individual players, the 49ers front office strategy is worth noting. They understand the value of having many draft picks and using those opportunities to find hidden gems and build depth. It's normal to miss on some picks when you draft a high volume of players, but the goal is to improve the odds of hitting on multiple impact players. Over the years, they found key contributors in various rounds, and this approach continues to pay off. Another recent move that fits into this smart strategy is the trade for edge rusher Bryce Huff. The 49ers gave up a 5th round pick, which could become a 4th rounder based on performance. This kind of conditional trade is low risk, but offers a chance to add a valuable player to the pass rush rotation. The importance of having a strong pass rush cannot be overstated, especially for a defense that struggled at times to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Bryce Huff's role will likely be as a situational pass rusher on 3rd downs and obvious passing situations. That means the front 7 will need to handle 1st and 2nd downs effectively to allow him to come in fresh and get after the quarterback. This puts pressure on younger players like Mike Williams, Alfred Collins, and CJ West to perform well early in downs and set the tone defensively. If they can do that, Huff's addition could be a real boost to the team's pass rush. All these pieces, from statistical insights that challenge common narratives to promising new players and strategic roster moves, suggest that the 49ers are in a better place than many realize. The offense, while not perfect, showed resilience and steadiness that's easy to miss if you only look at surface stats or headlines. The defense and special teams have room to grow, and with key additions like Bryce Huff and newcomers like Connor Colby, the team's outlook for the upcoming season is brighter than many expected. It's clear the 49ers have been working behind the scenes to address their weaknesses and build on their strengths. The question now is whether they can put all these elements together consistently and compete at a higher level. But one thing is certain, the story of their offense and overall team performance is far more complex and hopeful than many assumed last year. The groundwork is there for growth, and it will be fascinating to see how it unfolds on the field. Continuing from where we left off, the deeper you look into the 49ers offseason, moves, and roster building, the more confident you become that they're laying a solid foundation for success. The addition of players like Connor Colby and Bryce Huff, alongside improvements in coaching and scheme adjustments, signals a front office and coaching staff committed to evolving and addressing past weaknesses. While some fans and analysts remain skeptical, it's clear that the team's direction is more promising than it's given credit for. One of the biggest challenges last season was the offensive line's health and consistency. Injuries forced the 49ers to shuffle their lineup frequently, which disrupted rhythm and chemistry up front. This instability translated to the quarterback and running backs facing more pressure and less time, which affected overall offensive efficiency. Having a player like Colby, who has shown durability and athleticism, could be the kind of stabilizing presence that makes a big difference over the course of a grueling NFL season. Offensive line depth is often overlooked, but is crucial for any team looking to sustain success, especially with the demanding outside zone running scheme the 49ers employ. The versatility of players like Colby is also important. His experience at multiple positions on the line allows the coaching staff to use him in different roles depending on injuries or matchup needs. That flexibility is invaluable in today's NFL, where injuries are inevitable and the ability to adapt quickly can keep an offense functioning smoothly. Plus, Colby's explosiveness off the line fits perfectly with the 49ers' emphasis on quickness and athleticism up front. This style helps create running lanes and gives the quarterback more time and options to operate. On the defensive side, the acquisition of Bryce Huff is a strategic move that addresses a glaring need: consistent edge pressure. Now, the 49ers have struggled at times to generate a pass rush, which puts additional strain on the secondary and overall defensive effectiveness. Huff, who is a talented and energetic pass rusher, brings a different dimension to their defensive front. His ability to come in on obvious passing downs and disrupt quarterbacks can create turnovers and force opponents into mistakes, which directly ties back into the offense's ability to capitalize on good field position. Moreover, Huff's trade value, a conditional 5th-round pick that could become a 4th, is a fantastic example of the 49ers maximizing their resources. This low-risk, potentially high-reward deal reflects the front office's savvy approach to roster management. It's about accumulating assets, finding bargains, and building a team with multiple weapons on both sides of the ball. The front office understands that building a championship-caliber roster requires not just star players, but also reliable role players and depth across all positions. In the broader context, these moves and the statistics we discussed earlier highlight how interconnected all phases of the game are. The offense's ability to maintain possession and avoid turnovers helps the defense by keeping the opponent's offense off the field. Conversely, an improved pass rush like what Huff could provide puts the offense in better positions by forcing quick punts or turnovers. This synergy between offense and defense is often what separates good teams from great teams. Looking ahead, a critical factor will be how well the younger players on defense step up. Names like Mike Williams, Alfred Collins, and CJ West represent the future of the 49ers defensive backfield and linebacker core. These players will need to handle significant responsibility, especially in pressuring quarterbacks and covering receivers. If they can develop and perform consistently, the defense's overall effectiveness will improve dramatically, alleviating some of the pressure on the offense to carry the team. This development will also be a test of the coaching staff's ability to prepare and integrate young talent quickly. The NFL is a league that rewards teams capable of adapting, coaching well, and getting the most out of their personnel. The 49ers have shown a willingness to invest in coaching, bring in smart players, and build depth, which bodes well for sustained success. Of course, no season is without its uncertainties, injuries, unexpected performances, and the strength of their opponents will always be variables. However, the strategic moves made in the offseason, combined with the underlying statistical evidence that the offense was more efficient than perceived, create a compelling narrative that the 49ers are ready to improve. They've addressed key areas of weakness and added promising talent, positioning themselves for a bounce-back year. In summary, the 49ers story is one of resilience, smart management, and potential. Their offensive struggles last year were real but overstated, and the team's ability to protect the ball and manage drives better than most shows a foundation to build on. With the addition of durable and athletic players like Connor Colby and dynamic defensive pieces like Bryce Huff, alongside the growth of young defensive talents, the team is poised to compete at a high level. This is a squad that, despite the critics, has the pieces and a mindset to rise above past challenges and make a strong push in the upcoming season. Fans have every reason to be optimistic as the 49ers continue to develop and sharpen their identity on both sides of the ball. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be the most shocking move of the NFL offseason, rumors are heating up that star wide receiver AMARI Cooper might be on his way to the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing has been confirmed by either side, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that discussions between the 49ers front office and Cooper's representatives have intensified over the past few days. The potential acquisition of Cooper would undoubtedly send shockwaves across the league, positioning the 49ers as even stronger contenders for the upcoming season. Known for his precise route running, reliable hands, and big playability, Cooper could provide San Francisco with the elite receiving threat they've been seeking to pair alongside their already formidable offensive arsenal. Speculation began when Cooper was recently seen dining in the Bay Area, fueling theories that negotiations might be further along than previously thought. Adding to the intrigue, several 49ers players, including some key offensive leaders, have been posting cryptic messages on social media. Many fans believe these are subtle hints at Cooper's impending arrival. Financially, the deal would not come cheap. Cooper is currently among the highest paid wide receivers in the league, and any move to the 49ers would likely require a significant restructuring of contracts or even a high-profile player trade. Still, insiders argue that the franchise is willing to make bold moves in its quest for another Super Bowl title. For now, both the 49ers organization and Amari Cooper's camp remain tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny the circulating rumors. However, the excitement among the fan base is palpable, with many already envisioning Cooper in the iconic red and gold uniform, catching passes from one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. Whether this is a well-orchestrated smokescreen or the first signs of a blockbuster deal remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the NFL world is watching San Francisco very closely as this potential game-changing move continues to develop. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.